Well, there is a battle brewing between residents and First Nations on a lake in the Kawarthas, where one Aboriginal family is harvesting wild rice. Pigeon Lake is about 2 hours northeast of Toronto, and for years, it's been a well-used summer getaway. But cottagers near the south end say that rice is taking over their lake. They were given permits to clear their waterfront, but as Lee-Shanok shows us, some local First Nations say that violates their constitutional rights.
For more than 7 decades, his family has had a good time on these waters, swimming, boating, fishing. Larry Wood's grandfather bought this stretch of shoreline for his kids. Now he looks out at a sea of rice and thinks of his grandkids. They won't be swimming or water skiing on this part of Pigeon Lake.
We wanted them to be able to enjoy it the same as I enjoyed my childhood on the lake.
Now the water is becoming stagnant. From above, it looks like a farmer's field. While some say the spread of wild rice follows natural cycles and will die back, others say it's being cultivated on purpose. In the fall, it's a big job just to harvest it all. Residents say that's not at all traditional.
It definitely is a commercial enterprise.
After years of lobbying, some residents here were granted one of these, a permit from Parks Canada to harvest aquatic weeds and return it to something more like this. They celebrated, but then the problems really started. There are 7 First Nations in this area, and they say they haven't been consulted.
It's our right just to harvest and gather. So if any permits are given, it should come through First Nations, I feel, not the Canadian government.
The battle over wild rice ended up boiling over at this community meeting Thursday night.
See the wild rice destroyed yesterday broke my heart and made me cry.
I did not go into a huge amount of debt to live in a rice paddy.
They hate me and what I'm doing, and they hate my people.
The man behind the wild rice says it feeds his people. The $12 a bag it sells for supports the community.
There's Zimbabwe. Why don't we just take it all back and just kick them off?
Strong words, but not all First Nations here agree. Talks next week with the federal government are aimed at finding a way through. Lee-Shanok, CBC News, Omemee, Ontario.